So if we can start this meeting by, if you would like to close your eyes or lower your gaze or just sit comfortably and turn your attention to presence, meaning do nothing. So that for the duration of this meeting, the mind doesn't need to engage in figuring things out or fixing things. And contemplate I as presence. I as the reality which is the reality which perceives, the reality of awareness. Sort of see if you can feel your way into the sense of being, not being anybody, not being somebody. So there is no need for the past, no need for your story, no need for any past knowledge. Simply the nakedness of presence. Whatever took place yesterday, the day before, is absolutely gone. And as presence, as awareness, as consciousness, the past has no imprint. As consciousness, as this reality, the reality which is. There is no concern about visiting the past to fix anything. Consciousness is sufficient unto itself. Lacking nothing, seeking nothing. Consciousness is not trying to improve itself, not trying to attain any particular state or get somewhere to a better place. Consciousness is that which perceives in this very moment, that which hears these words. I. Not I, the person, not I, the form which appears to you. I, the piece of being, I, the effortless, transparent presence. Which is not in the realm of thought, which is not in the realm of that which you experience. It is not that which appears to you as sensation or thought or image. The self, your true nature, the reality of being, the reality of existence, the reality of minds, is not a mind, is not an object. And yet, it is undeniable. What could deny I? Wherever I go, there I am. Not wherever the body goes or wherever thinking goes. In fact, I never goes anywhere. In the worldly realm, in the realm of thought and perception, sometimes there is an impression that there is a multitude of realities. That there are things out there and there are things happening to me that may have an impact on me. What is this me in this very moment? What is it? Am I a storyline, a string of thoughts, memories, images, sensations, feelings? Am I the belief? And the feeling? What is that? What is it? When you look out, do you perceive yourself, or are you that which perceives? Do you need to remain in the stream of thought? Is this what your fascination is? A stream of thought. This thought, this feeling, that memory. Is this your journey in life? Is this what you want to do? Hop from one train wagon to another train wagon to another train wagon. I remember this, oh, I feel that. I recollect this, oh, how nice it would be when this and that would happen. Oh, how beautiful it was yesterday. Ah, how great. Yes, you could live like that, a stream of thoughts, empty sound bites. Without any significance, without any meaning, just sound bites. Like a bird hops from tree to tree. grabs a berry here, a berry there. I know I am. Amazing revelation. I am. The mind makes it so banal. Yeah, I am. So what? What's the next thing I can play with? The mind overlooks, cannot perceive the magnificence of I am. Awareness, being aware. By remaining in the me story, entertaining the me story, me, my life, my past, my future. Yesterday was so great. I hope tomorrow will be so beautiful. You fill your mind with gibberish. Sensations. And at the core of your stories, there's a separate me. A separate me. It's limited, incomplete, insufficient. They try so hard to improve, to make it better. So I work so hard to make my bubble bigger, a bigger bubble, a better bubble, a more pretty bubble, a shiny bubble, but still, it's a bubble, a separate self. All along, the I am, which is eternal presence, this moment, that which perceives this moment, that which hears these words this moment, which is neither female nor male nor pretty nor ugly nor big nor small, that which perceives, the reality that perceives. All along, I am that. I am this aware presence. Which is the true happiness, true peace, that cannot be found in any object. It cannot be found in any relationship or situation or any experience. It cannot be found in a happy family or a happy tribe or a happy body or a happy bank account, which are all impermanent, all passing, they're all mind impressions. You cannot find happiness as a mind impression, can you? Can you hold on to mind impression? But consciousness, you cannot hold on to it, and yet you are it. You are it, you are that. I consciousness, I awareness, I presence. Not I a woman or a man. Not I a mother, a daughter, a son, a cousin, an uncle. You look at the river, you say, this is a river. You look at the lake, you say, oh, this is a lake. You look at a pond, you say, this is a pond. You look at the ocean, you say, this is the ocean. We don't realize it is water. From the mind perspective, there is a multitude of forms, shapes, worlds, universes, bodies. But what is the reality of your experience? What is it in your experience that does not come and go, that is there 24/7? What is it that hears these words right now, and that same isnness that heard these words 5 minutes ago? Is it not the reality of consciousness? That which is the true I, the true significance of I. In everything we do, we're seeking happiness, peace and happiness. We believe it is an objective experience, a phenomenal experience, maybe a better job, a better relationship will make me happy. Maybe a healthier body will make me happy. A larger house. We mistake peace and happiness to be objective, to be dependent on what the brain, so-called, puts out. It is only in the reality of consciousness that you find the reality of happiness. the happiness that you find in the transient body, the impermanent world and impermanency of thoughts and feelings. That happiness is impermanent as well. Well, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to explore, please make sure you unmute your mic and can turn on your video as well. This way we can see each other if you care to. So any questions? And let me know if there is an issue with the sound, please let me know. Okay. Okay, thank you, Malcolm. Any questions?
Hi, Magdi.
Hello, Amna.
Hi. So, in the meditation, you talked about how, like, the sensations and the thoughts they keep changing, and there's like following, like and do you want to keep like chasing that? That's not exactly how you said it, but like, that's what I do, and I think it's ridiculous. Like, that's like when you ask the question, is that how you want to live? And it's like, no. So it's like, why do I do that? And then I don't know if you said this, but like I've heard like rest as presence, or just rest, like just be. And it's like, what the hell does that even mean?
You know, from the mind's perspective, resting as presence is like what? You mean do nothing? I mean, you know, come on, you know, give me something to play with, you see. From the perspective of the mind, presence is nothing. But
Yeah.
from the perspective of presence, the mind is nothing. So who's who? Who's on first base?
I know the perspective of the mind. I've lived there. I've explored that. I know it very well.
Yes, right. So now it's a new model, which is a model of awareness or presence. And what's beautiful about the model of awareness is that it's the reality of your experience. Thoughts, a dime a dozen. In other words, where is the thought that appeared to you 2 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago? But presence is there, verifiable, that same unchanging and unchangeable awareness, consciousness is real in that it is not subject to time, it is not subject to space, it's not subject to any factors. So where do you want to bank your money? I would bank my money on that which is real. Now, when we are pursuing thoughts, it's a different thing from just awareness. There is awareness of a thought. The thought is what is today? Thursday. Today is Thursday. The thought may appear to you, you perceive the thought. But when you say, gee, I wish it was Sunday, because Sunday I will not be working, whatever, or Saturday, I will not be working. Now you've introduced in your experience in me, you've introduced in your experience some separate self that is you, supposedly. And you are now in the management business. You have to cater to this character that you believe yourself to be, that you've said yes to. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes when we are children, we have an imaginary friend. Wherever we go, we want to take our imaginary friend with us. We want to make sure if mom buys us the sandwich that she you know, I want to make sure that my imaginary friend has it. I have one bite and my friend has one bite. You know? So so here I am as presence, as awareness, but now I have a ghost friend, which is me. Because in fact, I never leave awareness. I never become actually anything else but presence. Presence is there, whether presence is aware of itself or not. Presence is there. There is nothing you can experience outside of presence. Everything that you experience within awareness, right?
Yeah.
So that's there. Whether you're dreaming that you're a butterfly or you're dreaming that you're a unicorn, whatever you're dreaming is appearing to you as presence. It's appearing to you as presence. So but besides presence now, which is there, you're preoccupied about the Santa Claus character. And in pursuing thoughts, you're pursuing thoughts in order to maintain the me activity or the me impression. So you're thinking about yesterday, about tomorrow, about my plans for after tomorrow, how did my employee do yesterday, and blah, 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 blah. You just need to keep the wheel turning, because when the wheel is turning, there is dust. And when there is dust, you've got to manage the dust, which is the activity that veils presence. It veils your true nature. Your true nature is veiled by your engagement in thoughts and sensations on behalf of fictitious friends that you imagine yourself to be, or you imagine yourself to have, whatever.
Okay, I just want to say this. Like the wheel and the dust are both not happy.
They're not, like, they're both not happening?
Not happy. Like they don't bring happiness.
Yeah, well, yes, they don't bring happiness. The only thing that brings happiness is the peace of being, right? Peace is happiness. The freedom, not the preoccupation about yesterday and tomorrow, the preoccupation about me, my future, my life, my family, my tribe.
I don't know how to not be engaged in the wheel.
In fact, you are not engaged in the wheel. The wheel appears to you. There's an impression that you're engaged in the wheel, but you're not engaged in the wheel. You believe you're engaged in the wheel, and you say, oh my God, I cannot figure out how to disengage from the wheel, but you're not engaged in the wheel. You need to understand that. Not just hear it as words, you need to understand that you're not engaged in the wheel. You are, right now, you are that same self, that same presence, that same transparency. And whenever you so-called are engaged in the wheel, it's because that's the game you want to play. Nobody is forcing you to believe yourself to be a victim of the universe or to be a result of the Big Bang. Or the result of the little bang, Mama and Papa.
I noticed there's like a moment where I see it and I recognize it, and then there's like an overlooking. Like there's...
Yeah. So it's like we love happiness, we love peace, but we hesitate, we don't allow ourselves, we don't engage ourselves in living it.
Doesn't feel like a choice.
Well, if you see it, then you have a choice. If you don't see it, it's just running, right? So you're speaking about it, so you have an after the fact awareness of it. So now the challenge is to be aware of it before you jump over the cliff, you know. So turn your attention to the peace and the happiness, to the follow the path of happiness, of joy, of beauty. Make that choice of living the ease of being, the happiness, the peace, the joy. You can engage in various activities. It doesn't matter what the body's doing, but be sensitive to not the habitual churning of me, my life, my past, my future, but what it feels like. If it feels unhappy, develop that sense of that radar, internal radar within yourself to sense it, and adjust. Adjusting is basically just not taking the next step in the mud. We do, don't we?
I don't take a step, I dive in the mud. Go deep in it. Oh.
And keep reminding yourself that what I truly means. Because it's true that now we're reminding each other, but on your own, it's so easy for you to remind yourself because you are that I. Ask yourself over and over, what is I? What is this I? What is it? And you come to the clarity that I does not refer to a body. I mean, it's okay, the body is an instrument. We have no issue with the instrument. We have no issue. But I does not mean the body, does not mean a woman or a person. Do you get that? What I refers to in your experience?
Yeah, I get it. Like, I get that, like, like, if I'm perceiving it, then it can't be me.
Go to that I.
I can't.
Perceives. You can't, but
like,
you are that. You are this, you say I, don't you? You say I can't. You just said I can't, for example.
yeah.
Yeah, you refer to I. You did refer to I, right? You didn't say my body can't, or my brain can't, or my shoulders. You said I can't. So you are I, yes?
Yeah.
Are you okay with I being this effortless, transparent awareness? Are you okay with that language?
Yeah, I'm okay with that language.
So if you're okay with it, just keep returning to it, that I is this effortless, transparent, aware presence, keep returning to I is this, but not just as the words, go to the sense of it, go to your experience of that which perceives, that which is hearing these words. I is this effortless, transparent, aware presence. Remind yourself of that, not just repeating a mantra, but get the feel of it. Like here, sounds are arising here, and they're arising and being heard simultaneously. And that which is hearing all of that is, there isn't like a something that is hearing that. It's sort of, there is a hearing, a speaking and a hearing, sort of, it's like effortless. I'm not even choosing to speak. It's sort of, there is a speaking, there is a hearing, and it's all effortless, and it's all transparent. And I know the mind wants to write a thesis about it, but irrespective of the mind wanting to write a thesis about it and market it and bind it and sell it, my experience is like your experience. It's a magic show of awareness, presence, creating. It's creating, and it's creating and it's perceiving. It's creating and experiencing simultaneously. Isn't it like mind blowing? So rather than pursuing sound bites, stay with that which is mind blowing. Like when you go to the circus and the magician does a magical thing, I know what they do, and you go, oh, wow, mind blowing, wow. Realize the wow of awareness. It's amazing that there is perception. Isn't it an amazing thing? What's amazing is not that which is perceived, which is also wonderful. It's amazing to perceive red or yellow. But the fact of perception, the fact of perception, the fact of being, of awareness, taking on the form of perception. So that the mind that is like a typewriter, 50,000-year-old typewriter, gets blown, goes, explodes, it goes, whoa, what? In the whole script, of those 50,000 years of, gets blown in a moment of wonder, the wonder of being. It's not banal. It's not banal. There is nothing banal about this. It's tremendous.
What does banal mean?
What does the now mean? You tell me.
I don't know what that word means.
Now?
Oh, it's not, you said it's not something.
What did I say? It's not banal. Oh, it's not banal. Banal means it's not like a little habitual thing. Help me? Anybody can help me with banal? Banal would be
boring, repetitive,
everyday, common.
Everyday. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Thank you. You heard that? So it's not like an everyday thing and an insignificant thing. Perception, existence, being is not. It's amazing.
So, like, one thing that I'm resonating with from what you just said is, because my focus has been on the objects. on like the show. And your invitation is to bring it back to just the pure perceiving, just that there's perception.
Yes, pure perceiving, and also the wonder of, well, the reality of awareness and the wonder of it. You know, that, you know, the mind conceptualize the magic show. Says, oh, this is just an elephant that's flying. Oh, this is just a unicorn. Oh, this is just a rainbow coming out of somebody's hat. Oh, this is just 12 rabbits coming out of. The mind is just saying, oh, okay, well, what's next, you know? But it's amazing. A rabbit? I mean, a rabbit is an amazing thing, isn't it? Not the concept, not the word rabbit, but the magic of creation, of creativity.
Yeah.
So yes, I was saying, if you're just following sound bites, it's like a story about me, my past, my future, and it's like, oh, well, you know, oh my God, I hope, you know, tomorrow will be better. Go to sleep, wake up, oh my God, what's going to be like today? It's like everything is dull. Even if it's exciting because, oh, tomorrow I'm going to go to a party, it's great, but it's still dull. It's a little bit less dull than being at home, because you go to a party, you're going to dress up, you're going to dance, you're going to whatever, meet your friends.
It's very dull.
Huh?
Sorry, it's very, very dull. Not just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Bad example, but so rather than just sort of seeing everything with the old and all, perceive the freshness of awareness. You don't perceive the freshness of awareness as an object, but the freshness of every moment. Every moment is a fresh moment of creation. There isn't a me out there behind it. There isn't like a personal self behind saying, wow, that was a great moment, next moment. No, it's not like that. It's just a constant magic show, which is God's mind appearing from itself to itself. And all of it, the entire show is magic show. The entire show, magic. And the magician is consciousness. The magic is the show. The magician is consciousness. See?
At one point, you were pointing to like I is the effortless, transparent presence. And like there was efforting to experience that.
Tell me a little bit about the efforting. What was the efforting again?
Like the efforting is to experience the effortless presence of a transparent.
Then don't do the effort. If there is efforting, then drop the effort. If you drop the effort, you're doing good. So if you notice efforting, you drop the effort.
So like, okay, because I still believe I'm a separate person. But this idea that, so I don't have to do anything. If I could just.
Well, it depends what you mean by I. The body mind still has to cook dinner and have dinner. But what do you mean by I? Don't have to do anything. When you say I, what do you mean by I?
Well, the body mind doesn't have to do anything to experience presence, to know presence.
The body mind does not experience presence.
Because it exists within presence. Or present. It's known by presence.
Okay, you could say that, yes. But that which experience presence is presence itself. So it's not an experience, it's being presence.
Okay, so efforting of the mind to try to know presence, that's not it.
Yeah, the mind cannot know presence, because the mind, by the mind we're referring to thoughts, perceptions, and sensations, yes? There isn't an actual mind. There isn't a package, called the mind. So by mind, we're referring to the thought, the perception, and sensation.
Mm-hmm.
So in this moment, thought appears to you. Thought appears in presence, in awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or hearing, the hearing right now is appearing in awareness, in presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can the thought, or what we refer to the mind, know presence? It's the other way around. Awareness is that which knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know I am, yes? Yes?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's look at it. First, the question, am I?
Yeah.
Now the question is, do I know that I am? The answer must be yes, because when you looked at am I, you said yes. So therefore you must know that you are.
I don't know. When you say it that way, there are like doubts that come, or just thoughts of doubt that come up. It's like, well, do I?
Okay. Do you perceive the doubts?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore you know that you're perceiving the doubts.
Yeah.
So therefore you know.
Yeah.
So therefore I know. I know, I perceive, yes?
Yes.
I'm just repeating your words so therefore you agree that I know that I know, and I know that I perceive.
Yes.
So I know perception. I know thought.
Yes.
And when you say I know, or I hear, or I perceive, what are you referring to? When you say I, what are you referring to?
Awareness.
You sure?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry I asked, are you sure? Because you're right, it is awareness.
It's not my body. It's not my mind.
A body does not perceive. An object does not perceive. You agree? The computer does not perceive. Does not perceive. The binoculars do not perceive. They function. There's blood. The heart is pumping. The lungs are oxygenating. But the body does not perceive. An object does not perceive. A thought does not know another thought, or does not know a perception. A perception does not know the oak tree. The oak tree does not perceive a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Only, and that's our experience, only I perceive.
Yeah.
What do you mean by I? When we say I, what do we mean by I? It's our experience. I perceive. It's my experience. I know it's your experience. I have to ask you. What do you mean by I when you say I perceive? Are you referring to a 12-year-old What are you referring to when you say I perceive?
I don't know.
Well, you need to know, because it's your experience. I mean, it would make sense to know. I know that I perceive, and I know that that's real. What it is, there is a reality. And the reason why I'm using the word reality is because it is always that same I that perceives. The objects of perception can change. The images on the screen can change. But the I that perceives does not change. So I use the word reality. It does not change. I've never experienced something else perceiving besides I. I've never experienced my body perceiving or my mind perceiving or anything perceiving, a thought. I have never experienced a thought perceiving, but I've always experienced I perceive. So the reality of your experience is I consciousness. That is the reality of your experience. And me, Amna, appears to you. This moment, it appears to you, I don't know, as a sensation, but various bodily sensations, a thought, an image, right? Amna appears to you. It's an appearance. And it's an appearance, huh?
It feels really close.
Yeah, very close. It's a very close appearance. Yeah, it's a very, very close appearance. So it's an appearance. It's an appearance.
It's an appearance.
Huh?
Yeah, sorry. It's an appearance, yes.
Yes, it's an appearance, very close. I mean, actually it's at zero distance. At zero distance, you don't perceive Amna out there, or you don't perceive a thought out there. You don't perceive a bodily sensation out there. You may perceive a thought that says, oh, the sensation of my feet is down there. But that thought is not down there. It's very intimate. So your experience is of Amna is intimate, yes. But the way you experience Amna is a current thought or a current sensation. Yes, which is it's gone, next. This is why we refer to that which appears as that which seems. Mind impression, I use the term, mind impression. So yes, I experience Magdi as mind impressions. But the reality of this mind impression is I consciousness. I don't experience I consciousness as an appearance. I don't experience I consciousness. I don't actually experience I consciousness, but I know I am. I know I am. And I know that I know. That's my experience of consciousness, is this knowingness, this being knowingness. Being knowing, Sat-Chit, being knowing. It's not a mental realm. It's a Sat-Chit realm, it's being knowing. And this being knowing refers to the reality of consciousness. Not to some theory, it's a beautiful theory, it's called the Sat-Chit theory, the model. No, but the reality of consciousness. And there is one reality. I know I'm making a jump here saying there's one reality, but we can visit it again anytime you want. There's one reality. So Sat-Chit, I know I am, is the one reality, is the reality of consciousness. The one reality, therefore it must be the reality of the mind, meaning the thoughts, the perceptions, and the sensation. Meaning it must be also the reality of the inner world and the outer world being the body, the world, the universe, the universes. The mind sooner or later has to come on board. It has to come on board with that which is absolute, which is irrefutable. That which is irrefutable, which is irrevocable, which is absolute, which is beyond any doubt, which is certain, is consciousness, awareness, presence, beingness. The mind has to get on board. I know it's a rebel. It says, no, 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 no. It's my car, my house, my money, my cousin, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my whatever. Let's go there, because that's there. Let's go to next week. We are going to organize a canoe trip, down the river. The Rio Grande is beautiful. The mind will rebel, wants to rebel against the understanding of consciousness. Because within the mind, meaning within thoughts and feelings, at the root, there is the original sin. In Christianity, they say the original sin. There is the original sin, the infection, the original sin that I'm a man, I'm born, I was created by the Big Bang or by the sperm and an ovum, and then I was created. The original sin is the mistake that there is a physical reality apart from the reality of consciousness, which we refer to as the dual realities. The human reality and the reality of God. So in the realm of the human reality, our reality is the mind. The mind meaning thoughts, meditations, the world, the tree, the oak tree, the car, my house, my bank. That's the reality. And from the human perspective of the mind is the human reality, the material reality, the physical and mind reality, the reality of the brain and the reality of thought, the reality of matter and the reality of thought, of mentation. And from that perspective, which is a very limited perspective, we realize we cannot comprehend it all. We cannot comprehend it all. We'll say, holy cow, how can I comprehend these galaxies are like floating out in space? Okay, I'm working on many theories. But I'm still baffled. How could these freaking galaxies float up in space? They weigh a lot. I mean, fine gravity and whatever, but still something is mind-blowing. So what do? I create God. I say, oh, well, there is a creator. There is a creator. There is a creator. She's a creator. She's great. She's created all of it. And that's it. I got my answer. I got God, which is real, and I'm real. My world is real. My mother, my father is real. So I have a dual reality, multiplicity of realities. But you know what? It doesn't cure the matter. It doesn't really bring the peace. It brings a temporary comfort. So we go to the church and we burn candles, and we go to the temple, we go to the mosque, we do prostrations and whatever we do, fasts, we go to the Himalayas, whatever we do offering to God. But it doesn't do the job. It doesn't cease the spin of me, the me spin, the separate self.
So
you have to bring it to an end. You have to.
okay, so I have two questions. The first one is like when we talked earlier and I notice it, there's like I see it, and then there's like a running away.
Yes.
And as I was sitting, like there's a noticing that like there's a sense of like emptiness and not knowing, and then there's fear that comes with that. So it's like I guess I make a choice to like fill it with crap, even if
Yes.
it doesn't feel good.
Right.
And then would you talk about that, and would you also talk about like, because my mind is very argumentative, like stupidly argumentative.
Right. Like when you're looking at the screen, at the television screen, and then you close your eyes, you don't see the screen anymore, but there's still an impression of a screen. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
So there is an imprint. There is a phenomenal imprint. There is the molecules are dancing. There's no more screen. You don't have the same photons that are hitting the retina, but you still have some echo of that. Echo, yes. Thank you, Holger. Yes, you see it. So similarly, when you comprehend that, there is one reality, which is consciousness, and there isn't any me. There isn't, in spite of all there isn't a me. At that moment, you've closed your eyes, but there's still an echo. You're experiencing the no me. You're experiencing just presence. But it's not sufficient, for the complete elimination, the complete extinction of the me. There's still an impression, and this impression creates a fear. It's a fear, because it's still connected. It's still connected. So the illusion of the separate self isn't completely extinguished with an understanding, but the understanding is like the antivirus, when you put in antivirus, and the antivirus is going to do its job. Don't you worry about it. It knows what to do. It's the doctor, the scientists have designed that. It's going to do the job. So you need to trust your understanding and honor and value your understanding. The understanding that I is not something that appears. I is that which perceives. I is that which is. You get a glimpse of that, where the mind goes from knowing to not knowing. Not knowing is very beautiful, because consciousness is in the not knowing business. It's in the grooving business. It grooves, the grooving.
Dancing.
It's in the groove. It's in the aha business. It's in the tranquilo business. It's in the happiness business. Consciousness is in the happiness business. Yes. It's not in the knowing business. Wait a minute, I know this, let me classify that. This is this and that is that, and this is to the right and this is to the left. No. This is the mind. This is the me that's concerned. I need to classify, I need to register, I need to file, I need to hold on to make copies, make 4 copies, make archive to archive. We need to archive it. And the family tree, oh my God, I got to get the family tree. I don't have enough time to do all this, but I'll figure it out. So this is how the mind is operating. My biography, my biography, Biography. There's a bibliography too in the biography, a big one. So from the perspective of the story, you know, the me, it's about knowledge, accumulation of knowledge, classification of knowledge, showing off my knowledge, show off my knowledge, and polishing my knowledge, and appearing knowledgeable, you know, the whole thing, you know, the thing. About me, the me is secure, the more solid, the more, another color of paint, you know, you paint, no, a little bit more red, some more blue, make it more, you know, not just with pastel colors, it's got to be, you know, or if it's pastel color, it's got to be very seductive. It could be pastel that's seductive. Oh, that's good. I've got the right pastel color. It's seductive. So from the perspective of the me, you know, it is seduction. It is seduction. And it's about knowingness and objectivity and form. While to not know is more true. It's more true in that when you're dropping your ideas, your beliefs about yourself, which are all old and dead, because in your experience, there is no past. It's just presence. The past is we drag it, we keep dragging it. We hold it by the hair, we keep dragging it.
Why? Again, like you always say, it's like not happy, but then like why?
Why do you drag the past?
Yeah.
Because this is what the me is. The me is this activity, this feeling, this sensation at the body level, this addiction. You know, why do we overeat on the ice cream? Is, you know, well, we don't want to let it go. We like that sensation. I know it's going to feel bad, but darn, it feels good now, you see? So there is that sensation, the pleasure sensation, the pleasurable sensation in that moment is about filling the emptiness. I fill the emptiness. Why? Because I have never visited the emptiness. I've started with the assumption the boogeyman is the emptiness. So I need to keep filling it, keep filling the emptiness. And so the impression, remember the word impression? It seems to be that happiness is filling the void. Activity, more things, more experiences, more, let's travel around the world, this new relationship, a new car, a new house, new shoes. It seems to be that our happiness is about keep filling the emptiness. But the emptiness is this not knowing. And not knowing is not a bad thing. There is a certain innocence in not knowing. I mean, you see the children, when you see the children, you know, how they look at you and look at the world. They don't have a knowing yet. They have those eyes of wonder, the eyes of wonder. So we go from I know I am, sorry, let's step back. I know that I am somebody. We all start from I know I am somebody. And it's unhappy. We're unhappy. We don't need to go into that. We understand that. Then we go to, okay, I am awareness, presence. I know I am. I know I am. But actually, before we go to I am awareness, we go to I know I am, but I don't know what I am. What I am. So we start with the assumption that I am somebody, meaning I'm a separate consciousness. I'm a personal self, it's a consciousness that's dependent on the body-mind. It's an assumption. But we take a look at that and eventually we realize, no, I'm not sure of that. I know I am, but I'm not sure that I am somebody. I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am is good because it's a place of openness. Now you are open to, okay, I don't know what I am. So not knowing is a better model than knowing that I am somebody without any evidence that I am somebody. I've inherited a name. I've inherited all sorts of beliefs about what I am. But I've looked at that and I realized, no, I am not a bundle of beliefs or thoughts or feelings. The only thing I know is I am. That's for certain. So to arrive at I am, but I don't know what I am is good. So the not knowing is fine. But there is a like, as I said, an echo. When you go from I am somebody, a separate consciousness, to I am, and I don't know what I am, there is an echo of, oh, wait a minute, what do you mean you don't know what you are? There is like still the impression of the past, of being somebody. But the not knowing what you are is more real than knowing what you are.
Feels like I'm just noticing like there's more relaxing, like I can, or yeah, like I can, in the past it would be I can relax for a little bit, but then it's like all tense. So I'm just noticing in today's conversation, there's just more of a openness and like a relaxing.
You know, in not knowing what you are more available in presence. You don't have to carry the old with you. So it's like a fresh script in this moment. If it's a fresh unfolding in this moment. The page is not, there's not a lot of scribbles on the page.
I get an image of like a dirty, like, or a trash bag with like dirty underwears and like old rotting food that I'm like carrying around.
Yes, yeah, it's a good image. It's a good image. And it's exhausting because everybody's carrying around these bags and bags and bags and bags.
And it stinks.
It stinks. And and the brain is overloaded. It's like saying, please, give me a break. Give me a break. What? Give me a break. Okay, that joint will work. Let me smoke it. That bottle will work. We don't want a break. Give me a break. When we go on vacation, we're looking for a break. I always used to tell Tara that my definition of vacation is vacating ignorance. Because when we go on vacation, the traditional way, we still have our mind with us. It's full of
those trash bags.
Yeah, after 3-4 days, we want to vacation from the vacation. But when you vacate ignorance, like you said, you know, that they're not knowing. I mean, that I don't know. The mind at that moment is more of a blank page, not a blank page, but it's available for a new script, which is this unfolding. So we can meet each other. We can meet the situation with freshness, not with as you said, a bag of old laundry.
It was specifically underwear, dirty underwear.
Right. That's really figurative. That's
Okay. I think that's what I'm gonna explore. Living from
not knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, explore that. That's nice. That's a good exploration. Good exploration. Freedom from the past. Freedom from the impression, the illusion of the past. I don't want to say the freedom from the past because it may seem that the past, there is a real past. Freedom from the impression, from the impression of time.
When I don't remember what you said, but like whenever there's like mental doubts and arguments, how can I deal with that?
Why argue?
It just comes up. And then I get caught up in it.
What are you trying to defend? You must be defending a ghost, because in not knowing, there is nothing to defend. You must be defending an image or a feeling that you don't want to feel. It's like, I don't want to feel, something arises, but it's very quick. You don't want to feel it, so you blame, you attack. How about just being still? Feel it, something that is pushing the button, feel it. What's wrong with feeling the button being pushed? Because button being pushed always has to do with the ghost, with what you imagine yourself to be. Because presence or consciousness has no buttons. There are no buttons to be pushed.
So whatever feeling arises, there's no threat in it. There's nothing to be scared of.
Yes.
I feel scared right now just considering that. Well, I'm imagining.
When you say I feel scared, what do you mean by I? I mean, obviously, you're describing something. You're describing something to yourself and to us. A sensation, right? There is a sensation, right? Mm-hmm. What, in your belly, what is it?
My chest.
In your chest. So there's a sensation in your chest.
And there's an image in the future of like this body.
And there is an image. There's an image which is arising right now. There is no future. It's arising right now about a so-called future, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is this sensation and an image. What is that image right now?
It's gone. I'm like trying to hold on to it, but it's gone.
The story, I feel scared, creates time. But the image is a flicker, what do you call those fireflies? It's a flicker. But the story takes that flicker, takes a picture of it, and makes 1,000 copies. Makes 1,000 copies, a duplication. So there is no you. There is no personal self to feel scared. Your experience is not of a personal self feeling scared. Your experience is that of awareness. Awareness of a sensation, and as you said, awareness of an image, right? An image.
Yeah.
That's the reality of your experience. Keep going to the reality of your experience and not what it seems to be. There is a difference between what it seems to be and what is. what seems to be is the narrative. I am scared, I feel scared. I need to make an appointment with my therapist tell them about my scared, my feelings. It's all gone, but that's a narrative, what seems to be. And so I seem to be getting better because I've seem to have understood something about my whatever, my trauma, whatever. I may not go there. There's a difference in what seems to be and what is. What is across the board. What is consciousness. The reality of consciousness, the transparency of being, that which is and that which perceives and that which knows. It has no name, has no age, no gender, no location, no limitation.
So just going back to what you said earlier, like it's not accurate saying I'm scared.
It's not accurate. It's not true. It is an illusion. It's an impression. It's a mind impression. And so we live the mind impressions. We live the illusion. We engage in the illusion, and we engage in the illusion by saying, yes, there is an I, there is a me, and this me is scared, and I've got to do something about it. And it's about the future, and the future is, I need to do something about the future. So we live in the illusion, we say yes to the illusion, and we maintain it, we live it.
So what is
our
accurate?
life is what seems to be. Our life, meaning our mind, is what seems to be. I'm not saying it's bad, good or bad. I'm just saying that's what seems to be. There's a difference between what seems to be and consciousness.
So what's accurate is that like there's a sensation, there's an image. That's it. That's it.
What is more accurate? You could say that. Yes, you could. Yes, the answer is yes. But you could say that what is more accurate is I am. I, aware presence is I am. I am. I know I am, and out of my freedom and out of my, meaning the freedom of consciousness, I am creating, conceiving, creating, and perceiving this perception. Because I don't mean to deny the perception. I'm not saying, oh, wait, there is no perception. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the reality of this perception, the reality of mind, is this one reality, the reality of consciousness. So there is an arising, there is a conversation right now, there is hearing, there is breathing, but there is no body, no separate body, no personal body, no personal consciousness. There is no personal consciousness. Consciousness is universal. Consciousness is non-phenomenal. There isn't a female consciousness or a big consciousness or a better consciousness or an intelligent consciousness or an awakened consciousness and a progressing consciousness, a progressive consciousness. There isn't. There are no such phenomenal qualities that apply to consciousness. So yes, you could say there is sensation and perception. But also, the reality of the sensation and the perception is I awareness. Okay, so not just there is just a sensation and a perception, another sensation, another perception, another sensation, another perception. No. Yes, there is a sensation and perception, and the reality of the sensation and perception is I awareness. So above all, the passing impressions, above all is I awareness. Yes? Because there is I. right?
Right.
Just not to define the I as being somebody. When I say awareness, I'm not talking about, okay, I'm defining the mind. I'm defining the I. No, it's just the word we use for I. It's another word for use for I, which is awareness, meaning satchit, sat meaning that which is, and I know I am. That's beyond doubt. I'm talking about beyond any doubt. I am. You can go ask the 7-8 billion human beings. Ask them the question. Can you answer the question? Am I? Can say yes, I am. Are you aware? Let me take them. Are you aware? Because it's not a common question. You know, are you rich? Are you poor? Are you happy? Are you? Do you? Is this? Do you have 5 cars? Yeah, they will answer that. But if you ask them, "Am I aware?" They'll be startled a little bit. You know. So, but if they look at the question, you say, yeah, "Of course, I'm aware." You can ask them, "Do you know that you're aware?" Oh, it must be that. Now you're getting really complicated. Do I know I'm aware? Are you aware that you're aware? But you know that you're yes, I mean, so are you aware that you're aware? Yeah, that might take a little couple months. Yes. So these are absolute. Absolute meaning you won't find some people that say, "Oh yeah, I am," and then other guy next door says, "No, I am not." You won't find that, except if they're, you know, they've smoked a big one, you know, then, you know. But overall, you're going to say, yes, I am.
Or if they have my brain, a similar brain to mine.
So what is absolute that you can rely on? Yes. The relative, it's okay. Relative is impressions, what seems to be.
Earlier, when you said, like, the argument comes because you're defending something.
Yes.
And I was noticing, like, just with the exploring, I don't know. Like, if my mind comes up with, like, I am this, and I did this, and I should feel bad about this. And then the defense comes with, like, no, I don't know what I am. And then there's, like, it's like, well, how do you know that you don't know? Like, then it's like a... So then I just take on the position, whatever position I want to explore, or I really want to just, yeah. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
I didn't fully get it, no.
So like, just with today's conversation, taking on, like, exploring with, I don't know what I am. Then that becomes like a position, like a belief, something that I want to, like, impose.
Yes, I see. Yeah. Okay. So you've adopted the belief that I know that I am Amna, and that I know I am this and that and that. So yeah, okay, that's okay. You go ahead with that new belief. We're gonna go with a new belief. I don't know what I am.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
We can try it out, yes?
Yes.
We can try it out. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Hello, Holger.
Hello.
Yes.
Is there another way to say do nothing?
consciousness is the reality of I. I means consciousness. And consciousness is non-phenomenal. Doing and not doing apply to the phenomenal realm. So we say do nothing as a tool, a guidance, a meditation tool. It's a language. Because in fact, in reality, in truth, there is no one and nothing to do. There is nobody that is doing or not doing. The doing and not doing is a mind impression, is what seems to be. So since we are under the illusion of a doer, then within, still remaining within that illusion, the conversation or the invitation, which is an illusory invitation to the illusory doer, is, okay, take a break now, do nothing. And just be, which is, again, it is in the dream realm. In fact, how would I say it? So this is like a dream conversation. We're having a dream conversation, but not really. Not really. And so if it's not really a dream conversation, then what sort of conversation is it? You could say, well, it's no conversation, but not really. So there is a conversation, but there isn't a conversation. So if there is a conversation, who is conversing with what? So here we are. I'm conversing with you, you're conversing with me. But as consciousness doesn't converse with itself. It is itself. It's not like there are two things within consciousness that are conversing with each other. Your liver and your lung. Okay. So therefore, on one level, there is no conversation. On the level of consciousness, there is no conversation. And at the level of the creativity of consciousness, which is its manifestation, let's say, it seems that there is a conversation between two people or more than two people. But if you go to your experience, where are those people right now in your direct experience? In your direct experience, it's just consciousness. The people are your very self. Your perception, your sensation, everything you experience is your very self. But if you're experiencing your very self, then you are already yourself. So you're really not experiencing yourself, you are yourself. So it gets even a little bit more complicated or a little bit more, subtle. It's like, well, that's how it is, So yes, we do say, do nothing or simply rest as being. But all of these are the tricks of the magician who is doing magic. to itself, within itself, never leaving itself. There are no visitors to God's garden, because there is nobody outside of God's garden. There is nothing outside of, there is no outside to God's garden. There is no inside or outside to God's garden. And yet this conversation is very significant because consciousness wishes it to be so. It is significant because consciousness has dictated it is significant, and we have to get on board with that, with the significance of this conversation. And we do. Actually, we take time off from our schedule to come here together, sit in satsang together, because we get the significance of this conversation. And the significance of this conversation is that consciousness is revealing itself. It's revealing itself to itself. It is manifesting its glory, its reality, its truth, its infinity, its eternity. And releasing the mind from its bondage.
Thank you.
It's completely insignificant and utterly significant. Any questions? Well, it was very beautiful to be with you all. Thank you, Andrew and Amna, Malcolm, Holger, John, Isa, Esther, Irene, George, Kelly, Zoe, Shiva, salut Shiva, Hardy, George. Thank you all.
Thank you, Magdi.
Wonderful.
Magdi.
Thank you.
Thank you.